Hi everybody, it's Jenny. It's been 2 days since I did my last video. My apologies. I just got back from the gym. I need to jump in the shower and I thought I'm going to quickly do this and upload it so it's all done by the time I get out of the shower. And I have cats that are just waiting for me to feed them since I've been back from the gym. Okay. I did okay the last 2 days. Listen, I had a weight loss. 2 days ago I lost 0.3. Yesterday I lost 0.2. So I can't expect it to be much higher than that since the 2 days prior to that equaled just about 5 pounds of loss. It was just shy of 5 pounds, for like 4.8 pounds or something like that. So I really can't complain. I'm not going to complain. This is me not complaining. Okay? I'm not complaining. I did go back and look at my overall numbers and I was a little discouraged by them. But then I realized what I'm doing is I'm looking at my starting weight. So here's my starting weight. And then the weight goes up because of loading. And then it comes back down. I don't think we should start at the peak of loading to see how much weight we lost because those are false numbers right there during those loading days. So I personally, in my weight loss journey, want to know truly how much weight I lost. Because I'm not fooling anybody but myself, and I don't need to fool myself. I would rather look good than fool myself into believing that I've lost weight that I haven't lost. So those are the numbers that I deal with. So we're going on a week. Today was day 7. We're not going on a week. Today is day 7, so it's 1 week in the diet, and that includes loading days. So it's really just 5 days of loss. Does that make sense? Because I don't want to start with the high loading day number. I want to start before I loaded and then see how much weight I've lost in the course of the amount of time. Okay, so that being said, including weight going up, I've lost 6.8 pounds. So that's pretty good. That's averaging just about a pound a day of weight loss, including the days that I loaded. And if you remember, if you go back in my videos, on day 1 of P2, I had 3 pieces of pizza. I essentially did a mini load on that day. So I really had 3 days of loading, although my weight did go down that next day. So it wasn't a true loading day of like other crazy foods. I think that was just about all I ate that day. But I do believe I had a fat bomb too, because I know I stayed away from sugars that day. But I had 3 pieces of pizza, 2 keto bombs, and then that's when I was out to lunch with my friends. So I had half, and it was only literally, it was a little round turkey sandwich that was cut in half, and I only ate half of it. I was so proud of myself that day. Gave the other half to my daughter. All right, so yes, there was no sugars involved. I did have the keto bombs, but those are keto bombs, so they basically, I think it's like 2 net carbs of sugar in each of those. So definitely less than what an apple would be. Not that that's how we do this diet, but that's how my brain justifies it. All right, so I'm going to in the future. I told you that I was like doing some online research and reading a bunch of articles, looking at some more YouTube videos, and then I got motivated to purchase a book that I have been seeing for years people reference who are on HCG. And I'm like, I don't need to sit down and read a book. I'm not going to do it. But my goodness, if one more freaking person recommends it, I just bit the bullet and I bought it. And it's called Weight Loss Apocalypse. And it's not just about weight loss, it really is talking about weight loss with HCG. And it's supposed to be a plethora of wonderful knowledge. I do believe, the reason why I didn't purchase it, I do believe that this goes really, really, really in depth to a lot of the science and the chemistry and everything involved in that. And I don't know how much of that I really care to absorb and learn. You know, if my life was in the medical field, it probably would be more interesting to me. I'm in the educational field, which is why I just like to come here and share a little bit of information. So it's called, again, Weight Loss Apocalypse, Emotional Eating Rehab Through the HCG Protocol. And the author is Robin Phipps Woodall. So I'm going to start reading through this so that every time I have an aha moment, I have some more information to share with you, and I have my little thing of notes that I'm taking here as I'm both reading things online and reading things through the book that I can share with you. So that's what's happening here in the future. And since we're on that topic, let's go ahead and just quickly today, because it may be 2 days before I get on here again, talk about drops. No, you know what? We'll talk about. Oh, no, we're not going to talk about that. Let's just talk about drops. Somebody just asked me the other day what drops I use, and I should have brought it out again, but you can see the bottle in the. I'll try to do the link if I remember in the description to a whole video where I talk about the drops that I use and all that. But you can look in just the little pictures. There's a video. I believe it's called HCG Professional Grade Complex. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the drops that I use. Okay, so let me reference this lady. There's a Dr. Janine Tolte. She's a DO with a doctorate of osteopathic medicine. I thought osteopathic medicine was very interesting to be connected to this. But she does talk about HCG wearing away, or not HCG, but dieting, extreme dieting, affecting your bones and affecting your bone marrow, as I learned more from her. So I guess that's where the connection came in, because at first I just thought, oh, you see chiropractors, you see like all kinds of people with doctor degrees talking as experts when it's really not their field of expertise. I mean, I'm in the world of rehab, but I talk just of speech and language pathology. I don't talk about physical therapy or occupational therapy because those are just different therapeutic disciplines. In fact, I don't even talk about therapies for aphasia and stroke victims and head trauma and aging and dysphagia and that, because I never worked in those. Did I learn it? Yes. Did I have to pass the boards to say that I'm competent to do therapies in those areas? Yes. But should I be getting online and doing videos talking about the proper way to diagnose and provide therapy in those areas? No, because I essentially almost never, just dabbled slightly, but basically never worked in those fields. I worked with children, so I worked with language disabilities and multiple handicaps, and I worked with learning disabilities. I worked with reading disorders. I worked with articulation problems, and that's what I worked with. Okay, we're talking too much. Anyway, I feel justified as she was talking and I saw the connection, why it was she was doing this video on a channel that had to deal with osteopathic medicine. It wasn't a diet channel. All right. Okay, the drops that we take, she addressed. She also said it's been years since people have really ever done injections, and we have found that injections are not necessary at all. So that made me feel good, because I always felt like I was a little bit lesser than, because like the drops were really the pure stuff, and or the shots were really the pure stuff, and the drops were, you know, a combination of obviously something that's palatable to your mouth that you can put underneath your tongue. So I found that interesting, and I wanted to share that with you. If you're a drop user, don't beat yourself up over it. Okay, drops are okay. And then her protocol for taking the drops I found interesting. Now, my bottle in particular says that I have to keep it for 30 seconds under my tongue. What I tend to do is keep it under there for as long as I can. I try to do like 5 minutes or so until like there's so much saliva in my mouth that I just need to swallow. So that's what's going to happen, because you have a foreign thing in your mouth. And we are naturally, when there's liquids in our mouth, wanting to swallow, and our mouth will provide, when it senses something's in the mouth, saliva to help you swallow. You're only going to be able to hold it for so long before the saliva collects, and then you just have to swallow. So she recommended that prior to taking your drops, you do not have any food or beverage, don't brush your teeth, don't have any water for 10 minutes prior to taking those drops. And this is not a practice that I've followed, so I know I drink a lot throughout the whole course of the day, so I'm going to try to be more cognizant of that myself. She also recommends, when you put the drops underneath your tongue sublingually, that you should keep them there for 3 minutes. which I agree with. See, I could be a doctor. No, I couldn't. Um, but hold them there for 3 minutes before you swallow. She also reiterated the importance of swallowing the drops, which I just thought was obvious, but I guess because by swallowing, whatever's still in those drops is still getting into your system. So I just thought, I don't know how much is really penetrating during that period of time under my tongue. So I just naturally would swallow, and they taste kind of like grape. So it's not like it's offensive at all. But apparently, some people think that they need to spit them out. Don't spit them out. Okay. And then afterwards, after you've taken those drops, again, she recommends a 10-minute period of time where there is no brushing your teeth, no eating any food, no drinking anything, including water. So that will, I guess, really help it penetrate and not like rinse away. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I found that interesting. I find her information interesting, and you can look her up if you want to get information from her too. But I'm gonna go through and write down every note of everything that is not something redundant that I've said 1,000 times on this channel, but maybe I've said it once, or maybe I've never said it at all, which is a situation like this. And again, she reiterated that Dr. Simeon's protocol was, so long ago that we just know better now. And so some of the information I'll be sharing with you is really kind of HCG 2.0, which HCG 2.0, I've seen a lot of doctors talking about it. I think it's the doctors now who are like, okay, here's the original Dr. Simeon's protocol. Yes, you can stick by this strictly and lose a lot of weight. But we also know that you can be very healthy and lose a healthy amount of weight as well with other alternatives or options. And one in this situation is you can go ahead and do the oral drops instead of the injections. In fact, she recommends it over the injections and doesn't feel it's necessary to be poking yourself or injecting yourself with anything. So the more you know. All right, just sharing information with you. All right, so I lost a half a pound in the last 2 days. I'm going to celebrate that. If I could keep that up for the rest of this diet, that I would lose a half a pound every 2 days, I would be very happy with what my result will be. I will be doing this diet between 21 and 28 days. That's usually the period that I stop. I rarely stop right at 21. I usually stop at about 28. I do find a decrease near the end of being able to lose weight anyway, so it makes sense to go to P3, but I have an event coming up where it's going to be impossible to keep me eating on the protocol. Another scrapbooking retreat. This is my little job. What can you do? So I believe it takes me to about 23 days, at which point I will start to wean off of the drops. And then, but that's not it. I need to do another round. So I'm going to be taking, and you're supposed to take 6 weeks off. I'm not sure if I'll go the full 6 weeks or not. We'll see how things go during that period of time, but I'm definitely going to need to be losing more than what I'm going to lose in this round to one, meet my weight loss goal for the diet challenge that I'm in, and two, to fit into dresses and feel good about myself at my daughter's wedding in July. All right, that's all I have for today. I'll share more information with you maybe tomorrow. That'll be my goal. If not, I'll see you in 2 days. Take care. Continue your weight loss. Continue sharing with me things that you're doing that are successful. Thank you very much. I don't have her name in front of me. Somebody who shared that she uses extra strength Excedrin when she gets headaches at the beginning of rounds. And I just thought that was really valuable because I'm always doing Advil or Tylenol. It doesn't seem to be making a difference. And she said exact same thing for her. It doesn't work for her, but extra strength Excedrin does. So another tip I'm sharing with you. Every time I get good little nuggets from you people, I will turn around and share it. And I will try to be better of a vlogger here and share the people's names who are sharing this information as well. Okay, this video went too long already. You take care. See you in a couple days. Maybe tomorrow. Bye.